In 2019, the best way for a woman to enter the 1% of the country's highest earners is to get married. You heard that right. A new study just published in the American Sociological Review found that married women are 991% more likely than single women to be in a 1% household. In 2016, that meant making $845,000 a year. Just 4.5% of women earned enough alone to enter the 1%. Joining me now is one of the authors of that study, Jill Yavorsky, an assistant professor at the University of North Carolina, Charlotte. So good to talk to you, Professor, although this is disheartening to say the least. What is going on? Why are we still here?
Yeah, absolutely. So women still face a host of labor market inequalities, that they're underrepresented among top leadership positions where income is very much concentrated. They're also underrepresented in high-paying, male-dominated fields such as elite legal firms, as well as elite financial positions.
According to research from Pew, to your point, only 4.8% of Fortune 500 CEOs are women, which leads me to another fascinating part of your study, that ultra-high earning women rely more on entrepreneurship than top earning men. So if they don't let you in the door, you build your own house?
Yes, absolutely. So we find that there's a really strong link between entrepreneurship and 1% status, that it essentially suggests that women are experiencing strong barriers in rising through the ranks in corporate America, that they must start a new business in order, if they have any hopes of making it to the 1% on their own. And this is despite the reality that women entrepreneurs face a number of different gender-based hurdles in gaining financial capital in growing their business that would ever enable them to have a high income themselves.
And one of the many stunning statistics from your study, and we mentioned this at the top, is that married women are 991% more likely than single women to be in the 1% household. Married men are 70% more likely to be in the 1% bracket than single men. Why is it important to know that men make more money in 1% households than their wives?
Yeah, so this is very important because there's a host of research that documents that the top 1% have a host of different economic and political advantages. And if women's income is largely inconsequential in the majority of these households, it suggests that men, not women, are exercising the vast majority of political and economic influence that we see associated with top 1% households.
If you take this down to the basics, and we know that women are behind men dollar for dollar across the board, earning between 58 cents on the dollar if you're Hispanic, 87% if you're Asian. That's the very top compared to men. And given that the majority of U.S. income gains over the past 30 to 40 years have gone to this top 1% of households, and women are such a small part of that group, is there anything predictive from your study for the rest of women out there? And what do we do about this?
Absolutely. So the broader research suggests that we've seen the least amount of gains at the top. So we've had the most difficulty changing gender norms potentially around top income couples, that they're potentially even more traditional in terms of their arrangements. But there are multiple things that I would point to that we can do to help eliminate some of these gender disparities. So first, we need to pass major federal legislation that would actually jumpstart gender progress, whether that be gender quotas that would increase the representation of leadership for women, getting basic paid paternity and maternity leave, also increasing the access to financial capital and bank loans that women entrepreneurs have would also enable women entrepreneurs to further grow their businesses, similar to how men have access to this financial capital. We also need to change biased and hostile cultures in high-paying male-dominated jobs, such as in the finance industry.
Yeah. Well, it's an important study, fascinating as it is disheartening, but maybe it can be a jumping-off point for change. Jill Yavorsky, thank you, and your co-authors. Much appreciated.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Coming up, Craig Melvin introduces us to one woman breaking barriers of her own. She took over the Dallas Mavericks in the middle of a sexual harassment scandal. Now she wants to make the team a model for other companies to follow.
Diversity is being invited to the party, but inclusion is being asked to dance. I mean, you can be at the table, but if you can't talk or if people aren't including you, so what? And so we need to address both.
Plus, one small step for President Trump, one giant leap for his Space Force.